What's good? This is Noah Cuz. Today, I'm going to show you how to make melodies for Lil Baby. It's going to be that dark orchestral style that everybody's doing. They're pretty easy to make. I'm going to show you the different instruments and banks that I use to make them. I'm going to show how to mix them as well, so make sure you watch all the way through. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Noah Cuz. I'm trying to run it up on there. But yeah, let's get into it. The first sound that I usually go for with these is a piano. There's a lot of good banks in Kontakt, but I'm just gonna go with Noir for right now. So I don't really have an idea for the melody yet, but I'm just gonna start making it and then I'll explain it after. Ooh. Alright, so I just made this chord progression in this melody. So basically I started with an A minor chord, and for the root notes I went A, then I went down to the F, and then the E. So for the progression, I just did this A minor, and then in the next bar, I brought the middle note down one, and it gives it this darker feel. And I did that in the next two bars, and then I kept the top two notes the same for the next one, but I dropped the root note down to the F. And then in bars 7 and 8, the progression sounded like it wanted to go one note lower, so I just made it go one note lower. If you had copied over this minor chord, it wouldn't have sounded right in the E. And you just have to bring it up one semitone to make it a major instead of a minor. Now the melody is really simple. I just have this C and B, which is the same thing as these two middle notes in the chords, repeating at the beginning of each chord basically. And then at the end of each bar, I have these sections, and those are just there to give it some variation and to make it sound interesting. But the key is just to make sure they're not the same thing. So you can't see what I just did, but I did Alt-S to strum. Now I'm going to do Alt-R to randomize the velocities. And then I'm going to do Alt-X and just bring the offset down. So for another melody, I'm going to use Gypsy Romantic Violin from Balkan Ethnic Orchestra in Kontakt. The sound is kind of overused at this point, but it sounds good, so I'm just going to use it anyway. Alright, so the violin melody that I just made is super simple. It's kind of following the top piano melody, but it changes up just a little bit. If I pitched it up, you would see it's made basically out of the same notes as the piano melody, but just in a different order. So the thing that kind of sucks about this violin is that if you change the velocity, it doesn't really do anything. So instead, I'm going to go into channel volume. Now you won't be able to see this, but I'm just going to go into control and then hit channel volume, and I'm going to start drawing in a pattern that makes it sound realistic. So to make it sound good, you kind of just want to make the volume louder on notes that you want to accent, and then on notes that you think should be quieter, you make them lower. That sounds kind of dumb when you explain it like that, but that's how this works. So moving on, I'm going to add a couple more sounds. So the bell is super fire. I'm going to randomize that one too. So I just added this vocal. I don't really know how I feel about it. I'll probably use it as like a B section, because when you play that and the violin together it doesn't sound good. But now I'm just gonna add a bass. I want to add this timpani. So now that I have all my patterns made, I'm going to start mixing it. So I'm just going to take these and quick render. Okay, so I just structured out this loop. I have it with the violin playing in the first section, then the vocals playing in the second, and then just the piano in the end with the bass playing throughout the entire thing. So this part is just a bell with some reverb on it in reverse. It just kind of accents the end of each part of the loop. The last sound that I added was this percussion loop, and the effects are just a halftime, an EQ, reverb, and a mid-side matrix. So what I'm going to do now is bounce this out and then add some master effects. Okay, so I just bounced it and pitched it up 3 semitones, but the vocal sounds way too harsh, so I'm going to do some mixing on it real quick. Okay, so I just added the master effects. You can see there's quite a few. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I'm going to show you what they're doing. I'm going to play a section before and after the effects. So this is before. So it doesn't sound too bad, but with the effects, this is what it sounds like. So yeah, the last step is just to bounce it out. But yeah, that's how I make dark orchestral samples for Lil Baby. If you guys like this video, make sure to drop a like. And like I said, make sure you go follow me on Instagram @NoahCuz. But yeah, I'm gonna let the sample play out. There's also gonna be a free download to the sample in the description, so make sure you go download that if you want to cook up to it. Hey yeah, comment what you want to see next. Peace.